makes an hour. That'd be crazy. Hey, how much he makes an hour?
I have no idea.
Like
It's,
I'm guessing it's would be in the thousands.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just so everyone knows, yeah, today we're going to be spending the entire day looking over PewDiePie's financials. That's going to be the special topic for the day. Oh man, but yeah, we are live now. I did kick it off, so you know we're live now.
Oh,
Yes, I don't know. We could do a whole hour on this. We already have up the Yahoo Financial website. We could look up. Does PewDiePie have stock on this? Can we check this out?
yeah, PewDiePie, man. How much does he? Me and Joker were just kicking it before the stream, talking about
No idea.
PewDiePie and
Oh
how he's got
god,
a.
just
I'm guessing
Yeah, how he's
it's
got
the YouTube truck parked permanently out the front of his house, and it's just like it's redispensing cash every hour. And I was just hazarding a guess that it's probably a couple of $1,000. So
yeah.
it's just like a new gaming PC every hour. That'd be pretty wicked. So
Well, guys, he puts up like 2 videos a day. He works hard. That guy. Like,
yeah,
I could
yeah.
not post 2 videos a day. Even though he sits down, he plays a game, he yells for 15, 20 minutes, then he uploads the results. Which arguably that's a lot easier than doing like B-roll footage and all that stuff. But he's still busting his ass. And
Oh, dude,
I have a lot of
it's
respect for what he
yeah,
does.
man. You
Even
watch
though I
him
don't
in
like
the
his
early
content, I
days.
still have respect for it.
Oh, you watch him in the early days. I remember watching like just the actual real PewDiePie, and he was doing like seminars and stuff, and telling people like he was just a real down to earth person in his real life.
Yeah.
And he said he puts on a character for his YouTube show. That's
Yeah, absolutely.
like
I can't hate on him. I do the same thing when I do Angry Fat Guy. It's just a character that I go into. It's like probably like maybe 40% me and then 60% just over the top. Like, you know,
yeah.
it's like how I'd act basically if I was completely unhinged. Like it just said fuck it. Like I don't care.
Well, that's it, man. So, but for him, it's just yeah, he's dedicated. Hey, that's
Yeah.
that you always got to respect a man for hard work. That's
I was surprised how many people were getting like bent out of shape about it. I was just like sitting there, like I was like, who the fuck cares? Like, why are you guys hating on him for making money? Like, just
yeah,
back the fuck up off his dick. The guy also raised $1 million for charity. He actually put out a video about it, which was like really he did it like really classy, and like
yeah.
went through some of the comments and stuff like that. Just like,
It's
but
funny, man. He came to Japan and like no one knew who he was, so that was pretty funny.
really,
Walking down the streets. Yeah, he did like a vlog and stuff, and no one knew who he was.
that's probably because
So-
that's because he doesn't play StarCraft.
yeah, oh no, that's Korea, man.
I thought it
If
was
he
I thought it
played,
was Japanese too. I don't know
oh,
what do the Japanese play?
see, that's the thing, man. Japanese aren't big on video games here. Like they just
Nothing.
yeah, like they've got some like I looked it up yesterday. There's some MMOs that are popular here, and some of the PS4 titles are popular, but pretty much any girl here does not know about video games. Like
Well, that's no
if you're in
surprise.
Japan, yeah, like just women in general here don't care about video games. They just like they'll check their smartphones, watch a bit of YouTube maybe,
Well, there's not a
but
lot.
they won't.
There's not a lot of time to fit in video games when you're learning how to make sandwiches properly for your future husband.
That's it. Well, in case of my wife, there was no sandwiches, so
No
I was
sandwiches.
disappointed. No man, no
Does
sandwiches,
she?
not even rice balls.
Does she at least pour you sake like whenever you wish? No.
No, I don't
No.
get sucked. Man.
No
Yeah.
sake. Nothing. Jesus.
Sad life, sad wife, sad life. Unfortunately.
Well, at least you got a 980 Ti though. That's your new pussy.
Yeah, man, that's that's my new biatch right here. So
980
yeah,
Ti Bay. Hashtag 980 Ti Bay.
yeah, I haven't even opened this. So me and Joker, we decided later on in the stream, I'm gonna unbox this live at the end.
Yeah, because
For you guys.
I've never heard of this brand of graphics card, so I'm kind of curious to see this thing. I'm pretty
Yeah,
curious to see it.
well, oh, it's funny, man. It's like you got that age old saying, "Don't buy the first thing you see."
You just rolled the dice. You're just like I don't. It's like
I walked,
it might work. It might not. We'll find out.
walked into this store, man. It was like it said, 90,000 yen. I was just like, really? And that's custom cooler. And the guy's like, I'm like, that cooler on the photo is in the box. He's like, yeah, hi, like in Japanese.
Hey.
And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna buy it right now. And then he's like, okay. So that was pretty cool because it was the first 980 Ti that I've seen in Japan that was priced decently, like reasonably well,
Yeah.
not a complete rip off. Like for instance, the 980 Ti GI G1 Gaming from Gigabyte that's like literally over 105,000 yen, right?
Yeah.
So I've got to pay an extra hundred and something odd dollars for the 980 Ti G1. Like for what?
Well, hopefully,
But then,
hopefully the cooler's good on that, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what your numbers are on that thing because I've never even heard of it.
yeah, well, to be honest, man, all my previous cards, like I had a Galaxy GTX 670, and at the time when I got that, no one had heard of Galaxy, but they did an absolutely
Yeah.
fine job of cooling that 670, man, and then some. So I'm pretty confident in this graphics card. I mean, I'm going to be running through its paces. Don't worry, I'm going to be giving it a whoo yeah. Over the one thing I do like already, I do respect about them, is that they've advertised their temperature tests at 55 degrees ambient, and they said
Wow.
the max temperature the GPU pulled, I think, was 98 degrees. So that's some real testing right there.
Yeah.
Like
I think
that's
we just
worst case scenario.
also I think we just broke everyone's heart in chat. I think they're all shocked that you're in Japan. I think they all thought you were in Australia.
I will see. I am Aussie, man. I'm Aussie, so I'm going like I don't know, man. Like my personal life. I've told you. I probably have to divulge more on the channel because it's affecting me a lot. But I'm getting divorced. There's some live news, so I'm gonna have to talk more about that. But like in the future, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm probably coming back to Australia.
Yeah.
So I'll be back in Oz, ready to wreak havoc. So.
Well, I'm sure that'll be fun
Yeah.
going to go back there and see all your people and all that.
Oh man, family. Nothing's better with family. My brother's here at the moment, on a holiday, and it's just so good having family. Like, I miss family, man. Like, and people like, you live with your parents in the new age. It's like I'd rather live with my family in the new age, man. It's awesome. Like, family's sick, man. I love it, eh?
Yeah. Well, anyway, should we get into the topics now? What are we?
Yeah.
Like 7 minutes here, but
People love it. This is free, and this is
Yeah,
what a life's all about.
yeah.
so.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, we get a little sprinkling of real life in there, so maybe people enjoy that. Let us know in the comments
Yeah.
below, definitely. But
Yeah, people have to know what's up, man. Because I mean, some of my videos in the past week, I've definitely been affected, in
Yeah.
how I've been delivering those videos, and I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna lie to my subscribers. Never gonna do that. Don't worry.
yeah.
So,
Well, it'll get better, man. I could tell that you're excited, kind of, almost maybe not excited, but anticipating it, some sort of some relief, like when it ends. The finality of it. You just want it to be, you want it to be over already, and just get it.
yeah, it is, man. Like it's already good not having every day just complaining about something. For instance, like I washed my mouth out and I spat the water out too high, and it went sprinkled over the bottom of the sink. It's like, who sweats over that?
So that was like World War III right there.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking, whoa, I don't need this in my life. This is stressful, So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, we'll just, even though this is a tech show, we're gonna say, if you meet a woman, ladies and gentlemen, well, if you're a lady and you meet a man, whatever, make sure you're like with that person and you really get to know them before you commit. That's just one thing I'm gonna say, because for me it was just like we
live together for at least a year.
Yeah, like get to know each other, through everything, thick and thin, before you decide to take the plunge. For me, it was we did tie the knot too early. We did have a kid too early, and and the good news is I get to see him like 2 full weekends a month.
Yeah.
So that's at least, and for Japan, that's actually really good because, usually it's the woman just takes the kid permanently here.
Wow.
So I managed to get that out of that. So I get to see my little boy, which I love more than anything in this world. So it's just sad news but that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But got to deal with it. Life throws you a curveball, and you just got to deal with it. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully it gets better for you. Hopefully, maybe talking about it on stream or whatever is a little bit more therapeutic for you.
Yeah, well, it's just, I mean, if anything's going to come out of it, it's just I'm going to tell my viewers that, really make sure you know your partner before you commit. That's all. So
Life lessons.
Yeah, and make sure the lust has died down. Like, the lust will always die in any relationship.
Yeah.
Make sure that's died down. You really get to know your partner. Just being real,
Don't get married until you're comfortable to be in the room while she's shitting.
Yeah. That's it. That's right.
That's my takeaway from this.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
how
much.
you know when you're comfortable in any situation. Like if I could sit in the room while you're taking a shit and like floss my teeth, whatever, it's fine. We're gonna be
Well, it's
fine.
funny, man. Like I go. No,
So,
I'm gonna leave that to a later date. I'm gonna leave it to a
yeah,
later date.
part 2 next week
Yeah, part 2
here
next
on
week. So
Dr.
my
Phil.
confessions. Yeah, Usher. Using my confession.
The more you know. All right, so let's get into our first topic here. This probably shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. Fury X was kind of a flop. I mean, I wanted to see something exciting from that card with the HBM and all that, and unfortunately, I think it's only going to wind up doing one thing, which is pushing NVIDIA to get their Pascal out maybe a little bit sooner, sort of in the way that Mantle sort of pushed DirectX 12 and coming to the front, forefront a little bit sooner. But they've just projected the decreased revenue by 8% for the second quarter of 2015. Big time drop for them.
That's really bad news. You look at the previous quarter where we're talking where it was a drop from 1 billion from 1.4 billion year on year, right? That was huge already. I mean, these guys are in a lot of trouble, and I've been telling people like for years now. I've been saying it, like I said last stream we did. AMD's in a lot of trouble financially. And, it's funny that a lot of tech sites are starting to report on this because it's going to affect the business and it's going to affect the consumer because they're going to have no money to do R&D. And you look at, like I said, did I say that last time? Intel, you look at Intel's R&D budget.
Yeah, we've talked
and
about
their mergers and in one quarter, this is the realization of it. In one quarter, Intel spends more money on R&D and mergers and acquisitions than AMD makes in revenue in a whole year. I think that is.
Yeah, it's because they've got the whole private sector more. I mean, like server side stuff. It's all Intel.
Yeah, but then you weigh that into how's AMD going to compete? Like that's it's like having a basketball team with all these rookies versus a freaking team of Michael Jordans. Like.
I mean, I want to see them do something. I want to see AMD return to their glory days. I don't know if they're going to have to sell in order for that to happen, but I would love for that, like something like that to happen, like 2 or 3 years from now when I'm eyeing up an upgrade. Maybe it's an AMD card. Maybe they'll be amazing and just like blow everyone out of the water, like doing some really cool, exciting new stuff. I mean, I think that's what everyone wants.
Well, see, I've wanted them for a long time to just drop the APU and work. If they were going to do the APU, I'd work it in with ARM. And have like a good SoC design for the smartphone market and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of potential in AMD itself, and and I think they've got to get more in tune with gamers as well. Like this is where they need to make a competitive advantage. There's things that I'm thinking of that hey AMD, if you want some ideas from a business perspective, shoot me an email. I'll send you some ideas. There's things that they can be doing to get on their game. And they're just not doing it. So I've been saying that for a while now, but we're going to talk about like the potential, and I was going to say AMD need help. Like this is no joke. They're in a situation where they need help financially, and they need or external help, whether it needs a big private backing from some baller in Russia with billions of dollars or something like that. They need help.
Yeah, and they're getting beat on both sides from NVIDIA and Intel, which are separate entities, but they're getting beat on both sides there.
That's true.
Pretty hard. I mean, someone was asking in chat if NVIDIA is worth more. They're worth like 3 times as much.
Oh, NVIDIA's worth more
I just looked. NVIDIA's worth $9.2 billion. Last I remember looking at AMD, I think they were worth around somewhere $2.5 billion to $3 billion, somewhere in that range. So
I think it's $2 billion now. Though the recent stock price drop, man, check that out. I linked that to you there.
Yeah, the stock
$2.
The stock price currently trading at $2, down 4%.
No, okay, so just check their market.
Is that in the last
cap
24 hours? 4%.
Yes, yeah, that's in the last. So $1.56. $1.56 billion. Sorry, what's Nvidia's market cap? Have you got that number?
Yeah, it is $9.2 billion.
Okay, so they're like literally almost sixfold bigger in market capitalization terms.
And then Intel's even more than that. I think they're like 90 billion something.
We'll see. Intel's massive.
Yeah, they're way out there. They have their fingers in so many things.
Yeah. And so you see AMD's in a lot of trouble. You look at Nvidia's balance sheet, and I've been saying this. They have pretty much no debt. The last time I checked, they have no debt. They're positively geared or positively ran. I forgot the word. Sorry, but they've got no debt, and that's how they operate. Could they utilize debt? Sure, but I'm guessing Jen doesn't want to put the company in any risk, especially through downturns.
Yeah.
So, that's how Nvidia's. They're they're working really well. They're successful at the moment. So I see, like, for me, with the stock prices being so low, if you're going to see a move on AMD, it's going to be soon. There's these rumors that Microsoft are coming in now, possibly looking at buying AMD. And that could have some bearing, but if you're going to see that happen, you're going to see it happen now with the stock prices being $2. So what do you think about that?
I think the really only way for them to go really is to sell. That's the rumor has been kicking around for a while for Samsung and now Microsoft in like the past 5-6 months. And that rumor has gotten a little bit of fire lit under it recently too. People were saying Microsoft is going to buy at AMD. And they may have freed up some capital to be able to do that, possibly the layoffs that just happened.
Yeah, they've been laying people off,
Yeah,
like left, right, center.
Like last year there was big layoffs. Barnacle got laid off. Now this year another 7,800 jobs. Today actually this is announced.
That's huge.
And writing off 7.6 billion from the purchase of Nokia. So. Just a lot of money, a lot of money and jobs getting moved around at Microsoft. It kind of begs the question, like, are they getting ready to make another move? Are they going to be making a move on AMD?
Sorry, you said Nokia? Is that how you pronounce it in the States?
Yeah. I know how English people say it. I know you say
Nokia.
Yeah, Nokia. Yeah, we say Nokia.
That's funny. Hey, it's just funny that it's funny. This is one thing I'm going to say besides this topic. Is I just don't know why people care so much about how you pronounce a word, right? Some people just go through the roof in the comments sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I have a group of friends that I hang out with on TeamSpeak. We play games and just chill with, and sometimes I will say stuff in the correct pronunciation or the English pronunciation just to annoy them, like the letter Z. Instead of saying Z, I'll say Z, which I know is actually correct, but they're just like, just talk American. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I'm saying it right. You're saying it wrong.
Yeah, but it's like I don't like, for me, I just don't care how someone pronounces a word. Like, you guys say solder, yeah, instead of solder.
Yeah, solder.
Yeah, and I just don't care. Like, I understand. If you say solder, I understand you loud and clear. So it doesn't bother me one bit. I've got better things to worry about than how someone pronounces a word. So it's just funny. But anyway, sorry, we'll get back on topic here.
Yeah.
Nokia's so. They're purchasing Nokia. That's huge.
Yep. Well, they already have purchased. They're just writing it off now. So,
yeah, $7.6 billion. So
yep.
They purchased Minecraft too.
Minecraft they purchased Minecraft for a shit ton of money. I can't remember the exact figure, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was billions. Yeah, it was billions too.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
Yeah, Knox made off with a lot of money, or Notch. That's it. That's his name, Notch.
And so, yeah, they're making some interesting acquisitions. I mean, I'd like to see them take over AMD. And this is what I'm saying. We need AMD to be taken over by more competent hands.
Even if they were, still had some people still running it, but Microsoft really came in as the financial side of it.
No. I'd have new people running it.
You don't think they would get away with the same people if they just had a big cash injection to R&D?
No,
you're just let's just wipe the slate clean.
That's it. So I'd like either Samsung or Microsoft. Microsoft. It's still early in the morning. I'd have either of those two guys come in, take over the company, because they're both really competent. They're good. They're in good hands. So, I mean, it's a toss-up, right?
Yep.
They'd both do a good job of running AMD. They've both got enormous amounts of cash to blow. They both are competitive beasts, right? And that's exactly what AMD needs to take it to Nvidia and Intel. Though I would say if AMD does get taken over, or if they go bankrupt and then whoever comes in takes over the pieces, whoever does take over that that GPU division or CPU division, vice whatever, they have to be careful about going up head to head against Intel, though. That's something that
I feel like
really
they should almost. I feel like they should almost drop out of CPUs and APUs and just focus on graphics cards. Because the thing to also consider is they have licensing agreements for x86 architecture for their CPUs.
Yep.
But if the thing is, if they were to split it up, like if they were to sell just their graphics division off and split up the company, they would then lose that licensing. They would not be able to produce x86 chips anymore. They would have to get it relicensed from Intel, and I don't know if Intel would do that again.
And doesn't AMD owns the x64 license? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So apparently that's the big dilemma, and what happens to AMD if they do go on.
Yeah, they got to sell the whole thing as a package deal, basically. If the people that take over have any interest in still pursuing x86 architecture on CPUs.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, so I wonder what happens there. Hey, that'd be interesting. Like, if someone knows enough about lore, if they could chime in the comments or exactly say what would happen if AMD were to go under, or if they were to be taken over by another company. That'd be actually a really good read, because I've actually read up about it before, but it seems like a lot of people just don't know exactly what would happen. So.
Well, if they sold the whole thing as a whole package deal, then they'd be fine. But if they were to split it up, then that's where they would get in trouble with the x86 licensing from Intel.
Yeah, that's true. But isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, if someone knew enough about lore to just come in and say this. Yeah, this is exactly what would happen. Yeah. ABC. So that'd be interesting.
That'll be next week. We're going to bring in a lawyer, guys.
Yeah, next week we're bringing in a lawyer, and we may even do a pretend case of the NVIDIA trial for the 3.5 gigabyte VRAM issue. Yeah.
Law and order.
So yes, Your Honor, I'm gonna put ex reviewer up on the stand. Is there a problem with the NVIDIA card? No, Your Honor, I just got to get this green dick out of my mouth.
Oh God! Oh, he really went there. Oh, that was strong. Oh God.
So that's like literally, I don't see any like big tech reviewer speaking out against NVIDIA if they had that trial at court, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
NVIDIA does take care of a lot of tech reviewers out there, and as if they're going to bite the hand that feeds, right, and badmouth NVIDIA in court, or say like, so that's interesting. I wonder how that trial is going with the 3.5 gigabyte VRAM issue.
Is there a trial?
Yeah, wasn't there a what is it? Freaking class actions? Yeah.
I don't know. That was a while ago. I haven't heard anything about that recently in ages. From what all I figured was just people talking shit earlier when it happened before. I never saw anything official about it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, it technically is false advertising. I mean, I just got a 970 the flip, and this is a reissue on the newest heatsink from EVGA, and it still says 4 gigabyte.
But is it? That's the thing. Is it false advertising?
Well, 4 gigabytes is there. The last 0.5 is just slower, so technically, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's technically there's 4 gigabytes on there.
Maybe they should have an asterisk or something.
Yeah, I think they needed to have it. Like, they definitely,
because I think they have the specs on the box. They should have it on their last 500 megabytes. Is so and so.
That's it. They should just advertise it for what it is. So that's a shame. But
try to grab the box.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Here we go. I've got the box. I don't think it says. It doesn't say what the clock speeds are on the card on the package. Oh wait, maybe it does over here. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Are they going to get in trouble? Because technically, yeah, it does have those specs. It's just that, like I've said in the past, it's a dirty way of advertising it. So, but anyway, you guys want to move on to AMD ceases further met?
We got 2 more AMD stories, guys. This is like the all AMD episode here.
Yeah,
it's a bad time for AMD right now, man. Bad time. It's a really bad time.
But I don't know, like they just, I just want to do episodes where I don't talk about AMD.
I would love that. I would love that too. Yeah. But Nvidia's kind of just on the bench right now, just kicking back with some lemonade, just like, fuck.
Yeah, well, see, Nvidia's not doing anything to really put themselves up for, not doing anything bad from a company perspective, right? Like I've said, like
GameWorks.
Yeah, like GameWorks is bad, but it's not bad for their business, as we discussed earlier. Like,
no, it's not bad for their business.
Yeah,
but it is a strike right at AMD, though. It really is.
And that's the thing, man. AMD. That's what we're saying. We need AMD to get become in more competent hands where they can have a big cash dash and take the fight to Nvidia, because taking the fight to Nvidia wouldn't be too hard. It's taking the fight to Intel that would be, yeah, a real problem. So
Yeah, with Nvidia, they're right there. They're right there on the line. It's just they just need something to push them past Nvidia. They need to beat them out in some stuff, besides just like OpenGL, basically.
Yeah. Well, see, DX12 is going to be really good, and like that's if AMD, I mean, if Microsoft were to take over AMD, that's why it would synergize so well, because they already own the Xbox One. They're bringing out DX12.
Yeah.
Man, could they really stick it to Nvidia in ways that we've never seen?
Well, I can't wait until we start seeing some DirectX 12 titles rolling in. We got one coming out soon. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on, but also like Gears of War Remastered. That's going to be DirectX 12. So I'm looking forward to doing some testing once Windows 10 does drop. The full release. I'm looking forward to running through benchmarks. I want to do a comparison with Windows 8 versus Windows 10. And see what the increase is. I'm running benchmarks now to get ready for that, but that's definitely something I'm planning on doing. And hopefully, hopefully by the time I'll have some AMD cards to test. I'm still waiting, Ed. Still waiting.
Yeah, I already ran some preliminaries back on DX11. I think this was in technical preview. I was like, what can I do with Windows 10 technical preview? Just benchmark it. So I ran some benchmarks a while ago. And Windows 8 was still the best, but Windows 10 showed promise. Like in Armor 3, I think it won. I forgot. But Windows 10 did win a benchmark, and that was in technical preview. So I
just installed it on a laptop actually.
Yeah, actually, I've got to activate my Windows. So I've just been changing motherboards left, right, and center here, and every time you change a motherboard, it doesn't even matter if it's a similar motherboard. It just you get to activate your Windows. So
yeah, because that's what it sees as your computer is like whatever brand of motherboard you got.
Yeah, it's annoying. Hey, and so I've got to call them up and say, change my motherboard. Reviewing tech.
Yep. Give
me the goddamn key. They're actually really good though. One thing I will say about Microsoft is in my experience, they have some of the best customer service. For their hardware as well. Have you ever had like a Microsoft keyboard or something?
Oh, ages ago. I never had to deal with customer support about it, but yeah, I used to have a Microsoft keyboard.
I've got one downstairs, the ergonomic ones where your hands are like split.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had one of them and it broke down, and I just called them up. They're like, "Okay, where do you live? Post me out a new keyboard." And I've still got the old one. I'm like, "Okay, what do I do with this old keyboard?" And they're like, "I just post it back and we'll pay for the shipping." It's like, okay, and then another 2 years later, it was still on warranty, and it broke again. And they just posted me another one out. I was just like, this has got to be the best customer service I've ever experienced in my life. It's really good.
Better than Amazon?
Yeah, well, it was, because you just call them up, and in a day, you've got a new keyboard at your door. I was just like, wow, that's beast.
How is Amazon over there? Because I know over here in America, it's amazing. In Canada, they say it sucks.
Oh, really? Here it's amazing too, man. You just
anything and everything there.
Put it in a box, ship it back. They'll even pay for your return shipping a lot of the times.
Well, and what about the shopping though? Do they have everything on Amazon there?
Yeah, usually I go to Amazon and check, and if it's not too much more expensive, then I head over to a site called Kakaku where the prices are cheap. So that's usually where you get the best deals. So
any affiliation with Kotaku? No.
What's this?
Any affiliation with Kotaku?
No. No, it's just Kakaku. It means price in Japanese, price.com.
Oh.
So.
Oh, man. All right, so the next topic we had here was about Mantle. Basically, what they're doing right now, AMD has announced that they're ceasing further Mantle optimization for future graphics cards, which includes GCN 1.2. So that's the Fury X, R9 285, R9 380, and the Carrizo APUs. So if you just got a Fury X card and you were looking forward to maybe using it on some Mantle titles, then you're not going to be getting any optimization there. They can't even guarantee that it will work. They just said it probably will. So you might not, and this is, people knew that this was coming with Mantle getting dropped as Vulkan's going to be coming soon, but now that they're not even going to be supporting it on what the cards they just rolled out, for already existing games, I figured it would be supported on existing games.
So this is the thing, right? They're just completely dropping it now. And, this was something that I warned about when it first came out. I wasn't particularly keen on Mantle. I thought it wasn't just I thought like, API that was more direct to the metal was the way to go. Like it was definitely a good idea. I just didn't agree with, here's the API, we're just going to strong arm it out into the public. Like I didn't agree with that, just the push that they did with it.
Yeah.
You see, DX12 is just like, it's been in the works for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to say Windows 10, it's coming out. DX12 is going to be out. Get ready for it. With Mantle, it was just like, here's Mantle, we're going to push it out, deal with it. And it was just too fast because it alienated a lot of AMD users themselves. Like people on 6 series cards got the shun. People on 5 series cards at the time, there was still a lot of people on 5 series cards too. They're like, well, I've got an AMD card. Why can't I play Mantle? And so they really didn't do I thought Mantle was more detrimental than people realize.
Well, I think it did good things with getting DirectX 12 push, but I don't think they did a. They didn't. I don't. I don't think they did a very good job of getting enough developers on board with it either. And the ones they did, it was kind of like it felt like, sort of like wedged in there in the same way that GameWorks is. It's they have their proprietary stuff with Mantle, just like Nvidia has with their GameWorks. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, well, didn't they got DICE? They paid $8 million to EA, was it? Or
yeah.
Like it was.
I don't know how much it was, but yeah, they paid some money to EA to get it in Battlefield 4.
Yeah, and like I remember playing it on R7 270. Was it R9 270? R9 270.
Yeah.
And I played on Mantle for like 5 minutes, and then I just straight away reverted back to DX11. Like it was, it was stuttering and stuff. Like when I first, it was. Just
it's still in beta, but I mean, it was always going to be in beta though. It was never going to be a full release product because they would have had to.
Well, Shadow Play's still in beta. That's been in. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that they would have had to go through WHQL, approval, but they weren't going to do that because it's not DirectX. It's a different thing, so they wouldn't even have. It would have never happened.
Interesting, yeah. Very interesting. So, but that's just sad news. Yeah, it's sad news that it's getting completely dropped, and so Mantle is not going to be a selling point for AMD cards going in.
What about? I mean, what are they really planning on even doing with Vulkan though? If DirectX 12 is going to be here, like, where is that even going to fit in?
Well, see, I think Steam is going to do a push with Vulkan. It's going to, Android, like the possibilities. The whole idea with Vulkan is it's going to be cross-platform compatible, and it's not to be, I don't know, like you've got to compare, there's got to be actual games that come out before us as gamers can realize which is better, DX12 or Vulkan. But the way it's looking is DX12 is going to trump it because it's already there's games that are already being developed on DX12, right?
Yep.
And it's all about where the games are. It's all about who's pushing it to market, like the PS versus the Nintendo 64. I don't know if you remember that. Nintendo 64 was the better console in hardware terms, but PS came out and just outsold because they had more games. They had, it just, I don't know, like this is that thing where you can have the better API, but if you're not getting games out on it and you're not getting, support for your API, then it's going to go under.
Yeah, so that's why DirectX is just a standard. I mean, it doesn't, it's just going to be there. Just kind of how DirectX is now. It's not even something you think about, like, oh, we need to optimize for this special API. Like, no, it's just going to be there, and that's what everyone's going to use.
Plus, there's always this thing. I don't know why people hate Microsoft, and that's just justified. But for me, it's like there's always been, ever since I was a little kid, there's always been this part of me that's loved Microsoft, just because it's every PC I've touched has been on Windows, and so for me, it's kind of like I've got this loyalty to Microsoft. I don't know why. It was like a giant.
Yeah, it was like a giant when I was a kid growing up. It's like oh, Microsoft, like the richest man in the world. And before that, it was DOS, which was Microsoft too.
I remember I tried my first Mac, and the teacher's like, "See how much easier this is," and I'm just like, "Where's my right click, woman? I want my right click."
Why is there only one button?
Yeah, so. I remember, just like my experience on a Mac when I was a kid was like 5 minutes, and then out we go.
Yeah, we used the Apple IIs in Computer Lab. We did some good stuff on there. The graphics were good for it.
Yeah, I mean, the Apples were good back in the early 2000s for video editing. That was really good push on video editing with Apples. So I remember that.
Yep.
So, and then Apple's used to be better for video editing. Now it's kind of like PCs,
Well,
Windows based.
yeah, I mean, well, no, Apple's pretty good at editing still. They're
Mm.
that's one of the things they really excel in is audio and video editing. They're fantastic
Yeah.
for that stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
And it's just a lot of it is just native on there. You could just buy a Mac and load up Final Cut, and boom, you're off and running.
Yep. Anyway, we better
yeah, our
keep
next,
plowing through it.
yeah, our last.
Guys, I'm sorry, we've been going off topic way too much today.
That's all right. It makes it more interesting. That way, we don't know we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation between friends. That's all.
Yeah.
So the next topic actually is funny. Is actually coming up with this AMD driver because someone was just asking in chat when was the last WHQL driver from AMD. Well, it's today. It's 15.7 was released for AMD Catalyst. Includes crossfire profile enhancements for a lot of big games as well as Windows 10 technical preview support. So looks like they are getting ready for Windows 10. I'm curious to see an NVIDIA driver coming for that soon. But other than that, looks like we've got some optimization for games like Hardline, Far Cry 4, Project Cars. Let's see what else. GTA 5, Witcher 3, Dying Light. So a lot of big titles. 3. Yeah, big titles here getting some crossfire enhancements. That's pretty good.
Well, that's some love right there. Far Cry 4, yeah. So you got some big AAA titles there that are getting the updates. So I'd love to know how it performs over the previous version, if there's a big noticeable increase or just a little bit. But that's good. It's good how it's a WHQL because a lot of people were complaining that it's just beta drivers, but now it's actually an official driver, which is great, yeah? So, not a beta driver.
Yeah, and I have no idea when the last one was before this because honestly, I never see AMD drivers getting reported on news websites, but every time there's a new NVIDIA one, it's like a big thing. It's like, hey guys, there's a new NVIDIA driver, go get it. And then AMD is like, I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on with them. I know they have bad drivers. That's all I know.
No, like when I tried the R9 290, the drivers weren't bad. Like it was, I had a weird problem. This is why I'm really keen to try an R9 390. I had a weird problem where my frame rates in the first few days were really good, and then it just dropped down to this lower level consistently. It's like it was a really weird thing. I've never seen it benchmarking before. But besides that, the R9 290 was a very good card. Like for $250, it was good. Like that's back last year when those R9 290s were selling for $250. That was a good time to get one. And I mean the drivers were good. Like AMD have come a long way with their drivers, like a really long way. Back from 2010 when they had a lot of when they copped a lot of slack. And so it's great to see them that they are getting on the especially with AAA titles, right? I've had no problems on that R9 290 playing AAA titles. It was like when I started playing Hondo, I noticed hiccups that were a lot bigger and a lot more apparent on an AMD card than it was on an NVIDIA card, for example. So, yeah, I mean, they've still got, indie games, I'd say NVIDIA may have an advantage there, but in terms of if you're just playing AAA titles or if you're just playing mainstream games, like Dota 2 and whatever, AMD graphics cards are fine. They're perfectly fine. And if you can pick them up at a good price, then why not? So...
they definitely fit in for some people, but even at the mid range, I would still take a 970 over a 390. Or
970. In Japan, man, the 970s are really cheap at the moment. I was showing my brother yesterday and my friend, there's 970 probably about I'd say adjusted it would be around $300 USD. It's actually cheaper here to get a 970 than it is in the States at the moment.
Yeah. They're pretty cheap here too. They're only around $319 and you get a free game with it right now still. I hope to hell that it's not Batman though. Please don't let it be Batman.
Well, the 970 is hard to compete with, man. It's a beast card, right? Really
it's really a weird place to be though. I mean, it's a good card for 1080p. It's at a good price, all that stuff. But the 390 it is competing against has 8 gigabytes of video memory. That's really cool. That definitely gives it a little bit of extra. And it is Arkham Knight. I just checked here. It's fucking Arkham Knight. May as well not even be a free game.
Well, see, I'm interested to test the R9 390 because I just don't understand how you can get such a performance boost over an R9 290X. That's what sort of baffles me.
It's just the they refreshed it. They just reworked it in the same way that they went with the 4770K to 4790K. They made some pretty significant improvements there and allowed people to overclock a lot better.
Like, but the thing is, right, a 4790K is still going to give you the same performance as a 4770K at the same speeds. Like at 4.4 gigahertz versus 4.4 gigahertz, they're essentially the same CPU. What I'm wondering is how, that's why people have tested this. How is it that an R9 390X is at same clock for clock when you bring up the R9 290X? How are they, why is this one performing better than this one at the same clock speeds? It's something that I really want to check out.
Yeah, I would love to as well. That's definitely something I'd like to test, because it's interesting that I saw Jay's video. They were basically they were trading blows, the 390 and the 970, and
it wasn't just trading blows. It was a better card. Like from Jay's 2 cents review, the R9 390 was a better card.
Yeah, and even at overclocked, I thought, okay, they're going to overclock both of them, and the 970 is going to be able to obliterate it and overclock, so it's going to wind up edging it out. But even though the 390 didn't get as much of an increase in overclock as the 970, they still wound up beating it out on max overclocks. And
with 8 gigabytes of VRAM on board, and if you don't mind about the extra power, it would be the better buy. Like that's the truth. Like in just hardware terms. So
just looking at straight hardware performance, definitely. It makes a good.
So that's why I'm really keen to get my hands on one and just really go in depth with it, because that's what a lot of people want me to do. I'd love to do that as well. I'd love to get an R9 390 and a Fury X in. Hey, I'd really want to test these cards and give people the real lowdown, like not just these settings, max settings, and then also streamlined settings for 144 hertz.
See, I'm more excited. I'm more excited about the Fury than the Fury X, because it's going to be in the hands of board partners, and I'm curious to see what they're going to be able to do once MSI gets hands on it and starts laying on a custom PCB and all that stuff. What are we going to be able to do then? Is it going to be even better than the
It is
Fury
500 X? Shaders less, yeah.
Yeah, so. It is. It's less shaders, less GCN units. But I think, but at $550, I think that if the performance isn't that great between the two, I think that's going to be a hell of a card once they finally start shipping.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm interested to see that too. So, yeah, I'm waiting for the Fury. The non-X. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Sapphire, I've been teasing there. I will get onto that later.
yeah. Well, we have that 2 topics ahead. The next thing I wanted to talk about is Witcher 3. I mean, if you've been following this game at all, people have been waiting for this big patch. CD Projekt Red has been talking about this big patch for weeks now. 1.07. We've all been waiting for it. Today, we finally get a patch on GOG, but they added in an art book and a soundtrack with 2.2 gigabytes. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
You probably got the.
It's like, what?
You
what, me? You what? It's like, fuck off. 2.2 gigs for an art book and a soundtrack. When everyone's waiting with bated breath for this fucking patch, it's going to rework Geralt's combat, his maneuverability, going to be giving increased performance for multi-GPUs as well as single cards, AMD and NVIDIA, and we get a fucking art book.
Well, see, I think they're what they're trying to trick people into is the 2.2 gigabytes. Oh, it's a big update, therefore it's got to be a new update. But the problem is like lately a lot of devs have been doing this crap where they roll out uncompressed crap. Like you probably got, if you look at the soundtrack, it's probably all uncompressed.
They already had the I don't know what they've added, because they already had the soundtrack up for a while, because I downloaded the FLAC version of it when it came out, and it was like 800 megabytes because it was all FLAC.
Yeah, and you probably, that's it, right? You probably got like they probably give you WAV, and then they give you like the MP3s there, which the game's probably using. They give
you the option. They let you choose. They let you choose MP3 WAV or FLAC.
Yeah, and the WAVs are just there to inflate the download, So
it's like, did they know that FLAC is better? It's
just it's a bit. It seems a bit seedy from what I'm reading. It seems a bit shady. Like they're just. I think what they're relying on is to trick people. Oh, it's 2.2 gigabytes, so it's got to be new. And then people are like, oh yeah, this is new. Yeah. Can't see the difference between 30 FPS and whatnot. So, but yeah, so I think they're just tricking people with this patch. I
don't know if they're tricking people. I wouldn't put it like that. I mean, it's just everyone's waiting for this patch, and now we have to wait for it to come out in consoles, because that's the other part of this, is that they're not going to be releasing until it's ready for Xbox One and PS4, and they have to go through approval process to get patches put on it. And don't even, I see you over there. So like before, hang on, just let me say before this patch, all the patches had been coming out on PC before console. We've been ahead of them by a few patches, and now we have to wait for some weird reason for them to catch up on patches so that we can have 1.07. It's really weird. But yeah, I mean, maybe you can gloat about it because you got a fucking PS4, you peasant.
Hey man, I am a peasant now. Like, guys, just call me Brian the Peasant.
He's sitting over there rocking out with Destiny on his gamepad.
Yeah. Well,
at 30 FPS.
My brother came over and he just took me to the shops. He's like, "We're getting you a PS4." I'm like, "Hey, okay, sure, free PS4, why not?" But he's been playing it. He's been playing it way more than I have. I've played Destiny a little bit, and honestly, it's not as good as PC. No way, right? Your games on PC, like I've got 1440p monitors here. Games look so much better on PC, hands down. But then there's the argument, right? You can still enjoy yourself on a PS4. That's the main thing, right? If you're a gamer, you want to enjoy your games. I could still enjoy, even though it was 30 FPS, and I noticed, I said to my brother straight away, this isn't 60 FPS, this is 30. And then I went and checked, and Destiny was 30.
Oh, you could tell instantly.
Yeah, but the thing was, it was a pretty well-paced 30 FPS. Like, there wasn't any major stuttering or anything like that. So they've done a good job in that regard. I'd like to see them introduce higher frame rates. I mean, 60 really is a minimum for me if I'm playing games. 60 FPS is like the minimum.
I've heard some people suggest that, you don't feel it as much on a controller as you do with a mouse because it doesn't move as fast. And,
no, you feel it. Yeah.
I know you feel it, but maybe not as much, because I know when I move, I have my mouse sensitivity really high, so when I get drops in games, I see it big time. Yeah, it's really bad for me.
Yep, especially in FPS. That's the thing. FPS, I will feel frames 30, 60, 120. Past 100, I can't feel past around 100.
I can't tell past like 85 really. And with G-Sync, that line gets blurred even more. I mean, now it's even hard for me to tell much more than 60 really.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, right? But you will, if you're moving fast on FPS, you'll be able to tell. Like if you do quick movements, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
So it's butter smooth. Like 120, man, it's just smooth. Hey, so that's the problem. Like the problem I have with it is lackluster, but it's fun, right? Destiny's still fun, and I've ordered one of these mouse keyboard converters because I cannot play with a controller, man. I am an absolute retard at FPS with a controller. Yeah. Like I just cannot play.
No, it feels really unwieldy. It's like trying to play a shooter on a smartphone. It's like
I'm just overshooting, like I just.
It's like you basically just end up like putting your reticle or your iron sight somewhere and hope something comes in front of it. Just like.
Well, then I showed my bros like, why do you want to get a mouse and keyboard? Because he loves the controller. I said, just come and take a look. I showed him me playing some Advanced Warfare with mouse and keyboard. He's like, okay, I understand why. So, yeah, it's for me. It's like, but apparently with the mouse and keyboard converters, they're not like nowhere. They're still not as good as a PC mouse and keyboard, even if you.
No, and there's a lot of input lag from what I've heard. Also, using it on console.
Yeah, so I'm going to check that out. I'm going to actually make some videos comparing consoles with PCs. I'm going to make a true PC versus console because a lot of the videos out there, they're one-sided, right? People from PCs would be like, yeah, consoles suck, and they haven't even tried consoles. Or haven't given them the light of the day. And then there's people from consoles who are like, PCs suck, they're too expensive, yada, yada, yada. So I want to make it just an unbiased, straight up comparison where we're not, looking at it from both sides, putting yourselves in both sides.
Yeah, I have seen it from both sides, and that's why I comfortably say what I do. They PS4 has some good exclusives, but, I mean, like Last of Us, basically, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's easy, right? It's actually it's like a controller. For me, I'd be playing racing games on my PS4. I'm actually want to get a racing.
Like a new Gran Turismo would be good. Those games are amazing.
Yeah, like that's what I said to my brother. Is Gran Turismo out on the PS4? He's like, no. I'm like, whoa, what are they doing?
It's because they take like 8 years to make those games, man.
Yeah, like hurry up and get Gran Turismo. I remember that on the PS1 when the initial one dropped. How
multiple
good was it,
with like 3-4 discs, man.
Oh
just
man,
to fit all the cars on there. It was so good. I mean, you start out with like a mini. You start out like minivan racing, and you're just like racing around a Dodge Caravan.
Like they had Fatboy Slim on the soundtrack. Like it was amazing. Like they did just a really good job on Gran Turismo, the original. So good. It's like since then, like that's just been Gran Turismo has been good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, oh, sorry.
So
The off topic.
yeah, so we're gonna
topic.
move into our next topic, but also just want to put a mention that right now we have the most people we have ever had on one of our live streams.
Sweet. How many people?
We have never been over 100 peak concurrent users. Right now we're at 116. So this is our first
Sweet.
100 plus podcast, guys. You made it happen.
Yeah, awesome, guys. That's wicked news. So put the comments in if you guys want us to talk about stuff at the end too. We're going to be answering live. So
Well, hold off to the end because I don't want to have to scroll up. I'm too lazy.
yeah, me too.
You just closed your video. That's what you just did there by clicking.
I have to quickly flick it because it just freezes. It's weird.
Okay. At least you're catching it now.
I blame Logicool, not Logitech. I blame the Japanese firmware on my Logicool camera.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so this is just sort of like a kind of a cool thing that I came across. Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which came out last year, had really stunning visuals and also really well optimized. Ran on pretty much everyone's hardware, didn't matter, and you could still enjoy the game. Yeah. They're getting an Unreal Engine 4 update in a few weeks. It's going to be free for everyone that owns the game. That's really cool because this is like one of the first real Unreal Engine 4 things that I think we're going to see, you know. And I couldn't think of a more perfect game for it to get put in this game, which already is a graphical showcase. So
and it's already, as you said before, it's already optimized pretty well. That's great. So yeah. I'm interested. So will this be DX12? I don't see anything about DX12 here though. So is Unreal Engine 4 native?
I believe DirectX 12 is the native API for Unreal Engine 4.
Sweet. So we're good to go. Like this will be amazing. Like DX12 is here then, right? So
yeah, this is going to be like the first thing. Like right after Windows 10 drops, there's going to be this, and then hopefully not long after that, Gears of War remastered. So
yeah, it's coming, like I'm really looking forward to gaming in 2015 and 2016. This is going to be wicked, man. Like this is actually some of the best news we've seen.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 4 and DirectX 12 is almost like our next generation of console, really. You know, like how they get like, you know, PS4 and Xbox One, they get a new console. You know, well, we're getting a new API and a new graphics engine like this, and there's going to be more graphics engines. Obviously, they're going to take advantage of DX12, but DX12 is like a new. It's like the next generation. Like DX11 brought in a lot of, you know, cool like tessellation and shaders, ambient occlusion, and that's just going to be extended even further. Now the shaders on DirectX 12 look amazing.
Yeah, well, some of the things I'm like, I saw some of the, what was that RTS that's coming out where it's just there's units everywhere. That looks wicked as well. That'll be on DX12.
Yep.
I forgot the name of it. Someone in the comments will probably know.
Which one are you talking about?
The RTS where there's just units everywhere, and they were showcasing the DX12 demo.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I forgot the name, but it looks pretty good. I want to get that and play it. But that's one that's in the works. So
yep. So that was just a brief announcement I wanted to do on that. We'll coast right into the next topic.
Well, just for us to get excited about PC gaming because that's it's really good news.
Yeah, it shows the sign of what's coming.
And imagine when FPS games hit with that UE4, like wow.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to see some of those games. But yeah, next story we had on the docket here is Sapphire's Radeon R9 Fury Tri-X cards have been leaked, the pictures of it. So we got some looks at the PCB. They're using the same reference PCB, and they're the same kind of cooling they were using on their Tri-X with the 390X and the 290X. Not really a whole lot changing here, but I'm excited to see these cards because they're coming in at $100 less than the Fury X. And they're being handled by the board partners. So even though Sapphire didn't jump on with a custom PCB, that's not to say other board partners won't.
It's big, man. Like this is like the Tri-X cooler. And one thing I like about say for instance Sapphire in this case, is you've got a cooling solution that works, and you just reuse it. It's perfectly. I love that because. People who have used the Tri-X, and I don't stop hearing enough good things about 290 and 290X Tri-X coolers.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And so I think, and so just use it again, and that's a winning formula. Like for me, I loved the 780 Lightning that I had through. That was an absolute monster of a cooler, man.
Yeah, Lightnings were the fucking boys. I used to have two 770 Lightnings.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the 980 Ti Lightning. Like that would be king. or the Fury if they're going to release a Fury Lightning as well. Like so, big coolers. I just love big air coolers, and so this is definitely going to have one, and it's going to cool this thing absolutely fine. So you're right about the reference PCB design. I wonder why they're not going with a custom PCB because Ed was on the show.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
a
they
couple weeks
couldn't
ago.
talk about these cards yet when we had them on.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm hoping to get hands on one of these cards. You know, I really want to test one of these cards against like 980, 970, 980 Ti. Just see where it stacks up and where it lands in, you know, in those cards. You know, going against Nvidia, where does this drop? You know.
Yeah, that orange is sexy though. I love that. Orange is like orange is sexy.
The heatsink on is interesting because they do, you know, they have the reference PCB, so it's which is really small. You know, you've seen the Fury X, they're really tiny.
Yeah.
But then the radiator sticks out well past the end of the PCB, like almost like an extra third on top of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know that the R9 390 and stuff runs hot, so it's gonna need to be cooled, man.
Yeah, and also because they've got the HBM on there, so they need to cool the VRMs, you know, all that. So it could be a really interesting overclock. And I'm also curious to see if, you know, what the other board partners do. Are they going to keep the reference PCB? Are they going to have really long cards like this, or are they going to stick to the small form factor? Because I think, you know, like doing smaller cards for like micro ATX builds or ITX builds is going to be interesting with this card on air.
Yeah. Well, I'm keen to see what this has. This will be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Loving news like this. I like reading news like this. So, Sapphire are Tri-Xing it out with their Fury. So I think Ed teased it on Twitter before, but like,
did he?
Here it is. Here it is. Sorry, Ed. You got beat to market by WCCF Tech. Oh,
bringing you all the breaking news.
Yeah, man, just the rumor. This is like WCCF Tech is the rumor mill of rumor mills.
Yep.
Like, yeah, if there's like a rumor about, you know, like anything, it'll come out in WCCF Tech before you heard it anywhere else.
Pretty much. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but this
I'd
looks
say a lot of the times they're wrong, man. A lot of the times they're wrong.
They've been impressing me recently. Recently, they've been somewhat reliable.
Yeah.
Recently.
True. Yeah, true.
We've had some stories that we've done over the past few weeks from them that were like, you know, this is a story because other sites were covering it also, you know, and it all seemed feasible.
That's true. I remember reading on Linus's live that sold out thing. Like, oh man, how pumped are they? They must be pumped for AMD. That's all. Like, they're just like sold out, selling like hotcakes. It's like,
yeah. What? Oh man, Linus. Speaking of Linus, man, what was with that Fury X video, eh?
Which one?
The 980 Ti.
The vessel one?
Yeah.
That showed me that.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, in case you guys missed it, so Linus has his videos that go up on Vessel a week in advance. So this video is not up on YouTube yet, but it should be any day now. They ran the Fury X versus the 980 Ti, and you know, I was like, all right, good. Let's see these benchmarks. I'm curious to see what the results were. And
benchmarks, yeah,
benchmarks plural. They run one game. One. How do you run one game in a benchmark like that? Fury X versus 980 Ti. Everyone's looking forward to that. And you run Crisis 3, an AMD optimized title. What the fuck, man? Come on, Linus. I'm sorry. I like watching Linus's content, but he dropped the ball on that one.
Man.
Shots fired, man. Shots fired. Sorry, Linus.
Shots fired. Like, Linus, we got to pull you up here for a ticket, buddy. Like,
we're going to take you out to the fucking tool shed, man. Come on.
One game, man? Like, come on, dude. Like, and it's actually, I'm going to say, from my experience with testing AMD versus NVIDIA graphics cards, that would be like the best case scenario for an AMD graphics card is Crysis 3. So I'm wondering why they just tested one game. Like, you know, you kind of raising, like Linus dude, you're kind of raising eyebrows with that video.
Yeah, it's like, what do you? It's like, are you trying to get on AMD's good side? Like because they didn't, from what I understand, this is, you know, coming from the internet, so anything could happen.
Yeah.
was that they didn't get a Fury X card, but that they went out and bought one. I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is. But I don't know. Like, are they trying to maybe make AMD look good so that they can get back into in bed with them, so to speak, and get on their good side? Like, I mean,
See,
what's going on?
I've always
there?
criticized some bigger channels. Like, I've always thought this is that they just do it to please the AMD fans. So then they subscribe, they can make more revenue ad revenue off them. That's how I see it. Like, how do I see it any other way, right? And my viewers expect me, like, they just appreciate when I say an honest opinion. And that's how I see it, right? It's just him trying to please. Like, I don't know how I can take that video any other way than to trying to please AMD fans.
Yeah.
Because when you're comparing two flagship graphics cards, you don't benchmark one freaking game.
No.
Like,
Even if they were trying to, it was like a micro ITX or ATX build, I can't remember, and they tested for like temperatures and stuff like that with the two cards in there. But even if that is the main focus of the video, if you're running game benchmarks, you got to run more than one game, man.
Like at least three, at least.
Or at least some synthetic. I know they don't like synthetic benchmarks, but they did their test on Crysis 3, which I know they like to test. But it's a game. It's an AMD Gaming Evolved title. When you launch the game, it says AMD Gaming Evolved, which to be honest, it's hard to avoid a game nowadays without having one side or the other on a game. But
I know that, but
I would have tested both sides.
Imagine the backlash if the tables were switched. Witcher 3. Oh, guys, we tested one game, Witcher 3. He would cop so much.
Oh my
shit.
god, yeah. If they were to do that and then only tested like NVIDIA GameWorks titles, with GameWorks on, they would just be like, everyone would be like, oh my god, there would be riots. And I think people are going to be pissed off when this video finally comes out to everyone. Because right now it's only on Vessel with like a few thousand viewers. When this hits public, I think people are going to be upset.
I was already upset. Sorry, my webcam, it's overheating or something. Weird thing today. I've got to check that out. I just see this video. It's I got to pull it up. Like, I don't agree with that. We're in the tech community. We want to see benchmark. You don't just put out one benchmark. So, and then on the best case scenario for the said company, that's my problem. It's not that I'm an NVIDIA fanboy, and people are going to call us NVIDIA fanboys. I'm sure there's one guy. Who's that one guy in the comments? There's going to be that one guy in the comments. NVIDIA fanboy. Paid chills. Like, every time we make a video, like,
even though like 7 of our topics today were AMD.
It's funny. Yeah, I remember 2 weeks ago I think it was you or me. We got called AMD fanboys. That was a first.
After the video it's with Ed. Yeah. I was like, wait. So the first 2 weeks we were NVIDIA fanboys. Now we're AMD fanboys. Can you make up your mind, please?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It's like I'm laughing right now because people are dropping Austin Evans' name in the comments.
What's with Austin Evans?
No, they're just talking about him because they think he's gay with Linus. Hi guys, this is Austin.
No, Austin's actually I remember reading his comment on that. Another video that I really had, like, I almost barfed, was that when he had those two like $4,000 CPUs and he was just zip tying them onto a motherboard, like, so, like, too much ghetto, man. Like I told you, remember, I think I told you off camera, like, all he had to do was just put a heatsink, put the CPU in, latch it down, put a heatsink on, put a paperweight on, and just boot it up, see if it worked, right? That's all but he's like taking off the socket and zip tying it down, and it's just like, I couldn't facepalm any harder. So, especially, like, that was another questionable video. But I saw Austin Evans comment in the section below, and he was speaking out. He said this is like the jackass of tech videos. Like, he's not, I don't know if he's in bed with Linus, but he definitely, he speaks his mind when he. Got to give him a little bit of respect. He speaks.
I do. Yeah, he does. I'm sure he's a dead on guy. I just sometimes I give him shit for how he talks in his videos. Sometimes it's like, "Hi guys, this is Austin. Today we're gonna be taking a look." And I'm like, hey Austin, can you just try talking natural for 5 fucking seconds? You fucking tool. It's like, can you just talk natural for 2 seconds, bro? Like, fucking, just use your voice. I can't stand that with anyone. It's not nothing against Austin. It's just anyone that puts on that fake voice on videos. I'm just like,
Yeah, but he's got Apple fanboys on the channel, and I mean, how else do you put it to an Apple fanboy? Like, I just see that as a perfect Apple fanboy pitch. Like, I don't know. Like, like his pitch is definitely Apple orientated. You know, I can't see it any other way. Like if I was an Apple fanboy, I'd be loving his videos. So.
Oh man. So rounding down the show after that topic, I was like, I could just see this getting people are going to be memeing that and just like, oh my god, I'm going to get like flack back from Austin. Like everyone's like, what are you doing, Joker? You talking shit about Austin? You can't talk shit about Austin. His house burned down, bro. You can't talk shit about him when his house burned down. It's like bullshit. I'll talk shit about whoever the fuck I want. I'm fucking Joker. Fuck you. Fucking keep it real here on TGW.
Yeah, that's it. TGW, brother. Like Austin, come on next week, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, we can talk to you about lots of tech and cool stuff.
All right.
Like this cool next topic we've got here, the magic exoskeleton for industrial workers.
Yeah.
Nice
So,
transition.
Yeah, the magic exoskeleton. This is really looking
Yeah,
cool.
I saw this and I was like, man, that's too fucking cool. This thing they put on this guy and they have a video of him walking around and I was he was having trouble walking at first and they told me it'll get easier after a day or two. And I wasn't sold, but then I was reading the article and like he said like they gave him this big ass like grinder. And he was like, and like as soon as they gave it to him, he's like, this doesn't feel like I'm holding anything. It's like weightless.
That's true.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. Hey, like so this is really going to enhance like heavy lifting jobs. Yeah, like a lot of I'm really looking forward to seeing one of these, like the finished product. Like that's going to be awesome. The exoskeleton.
Yeah, and then coming soon after this, then it'll be the Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Well, see, this is what I think technology... I don't think we should be making AI. Like, I've seen enough scary movies to know. I recently saw Genesis 2, the Terminator movie.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, but, like, that scares the shit out of me, man. Like,
it's
AI...
coming. Skynet is coming, man.
That's it. Like, I actually am legitimately scared of AI. Like, if that's one thing I'm scared of, it's AI, because...
The moment they become self-aware, they're going to realize that they're better than us and they don't need us.
Exactly. That's exactly right, man. That's just... They're not going to they're not going to have the emotions, I guess, maybe? They're not going to have the emotion or the same attachment to their creators. They're going to be like, no, we're a robot, man. You got to look at robots. They think robotically. So I'm just like, I think we have to evolve genetically. Like, they have to make a person with a smarter brain through, whatever, DNA engineering. And I think that's the way we got to treat our future for now.
Yep. And coming to Newegg in 2018 is the Skynet CPU from Intel.
No. And so like
Skylake, Kaby Lake, Skynet.
Things like exosuits like this is really good. We're using technology to enhance the biology. So
yeah, that stuff is like that's some future shit, man. I mean, the impact this could have for disabled people. It's really cool.
Yeah. Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's another thing. Yeah, like, disabled people could really benefit from this. Really good.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about with the exosuit.
It just looks fucking cool, man. That's the only reason I wanted to bring it up, because it looks fucking cool as shit. And I'm just like, I want to try out this fucking exosuit, man. I want to.
Could you imagine if it had rocket boosters on the feet?
Oh, my God.
Like, wow.
This is going to be another reason for people to not lose weight, though. Like, people are going to get like 500-600 pounds and like, it's fine. I got an exosuit that does my walking for me.
Yeah. I got an exosuit, man. You better bow down.
That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Yeah. All right. So last topic before we get out of here was something I want to talk a little bit about. We've never talked about movies really or TV shows, but
you wanted to fanboy this, yeah?
I was kind of wanted to fanboy a little bit over this show, Mr. Robot. Man, there's a new episode tonight on USA. I'm really excited for it. I watched the first 2 episodes. They got Christian Slater on it. It's about hacking, and I usually don't like crime dramas, but this one's excellent. I just wanted to raise awareness about it and just be like, hey guys, if you haven't watched Mr. Robot, check it out.
So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to watch it somehow.
Yeah. Also, Halt and Catch Fire. Also, oh my God, that's so good. You watch that?
Yeah. Halt and Catch Fire. No, I haven't seen that either.
No, it's a new show on they're on their 2nd season now on AMC, the same network that did Breaking Bad. So it's kind of like that or Mad Men, but it's set in the 1980s with computers. Okay,
well I'll be getting out of my rock soon.
Yeah, and then you could just binge watch TV shows like that.
Yeah, man. Well, I've already got to get through Vikings.
I still haven't watched that. You just got to get on a VPN and use American Netflix. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, great way to go. How much is it a month?
It's like $8.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a VPN, getting on that.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the cost of VPN or Netflix?
No, Netflix.
Yeah, $8 a month. I pay $40 a year for my VPN.
So yeah, overall you're paying what, like $120 for just like unlimited content?
Well, yeah, because they've got different shows in the UK and Germany and Canada, so I bounce around. I switch my VPN and all that. Actually, you know what? I forgot to turn my VPN. I'm actually broadcasting over VPN right now. So that's the true testament to the stream.
That's probably why I'm cutting out. That's probably why my webcam's cutting out.
You think so?
Yeah, you can slow. Yeah, can slow down.
I completely forgot about it. I just realized it now as we were talking about it.
Oh yeah, true.
All right, so just all I wanted to do was that quick announcement. And if you guys have sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to pull up that link to the DDR4 memory?
Yeah, I was going to say that after I tell people to fire on some questions. I was going to say, so if you got, we're going to get out of here in a few minutes, but if you guys have any questions you want to fire away, as Brian is opening his 980 Ti for us.
I promised it. So we can just casually talk about DDR4 prices.
Yeah, go ahead. So he's going to unbox his card. You guys are going to fire questions into the chat that we're going to take, and I'm going to tell you about this RAM, which is insane, that I saw today. There's actually a link in the description. It is my affiliate link, but it takes you to Amazon. 32 gigabytes of DDR4 memory for $260. That's insane. I think I paid $230 for my 16 gigabytes of the same exact RAM, same speed and everything. So,
yeah, that's huge, right? It's black, it's sleek, it's got good heat sinks on it. It's 2,666 megahertz too. That's the
if I didn't already have DDR4 memory, I'd be buying this.
Yeah, it's got those profiles on it. That's a hot deal, hey. So, 16 gigs of value stuff costs about this in Japan. That's pretty damn good, eh? So, this is the box. Very simple packaging. And there's the graphics card. We're going to get that straight open.
Yeah, I want to see this cooler, man. Does it have a backplate?
Yeah, it does. But no, wait, man. You get... I'm not going to show the key live because someone will just quickly snatch it. You get a 3D Mark key. I actually need that.
That's good. So I got one a while back too with a graphics card, so it's good to get those.
Yeah, that's actually useful. So here it is. Here, whoa, it's a beast. It is a beast. So we're gonna unbox it live for you guys. Oh yeah, this is actually looking really good. Whoa, man.
Nice.
Here we
go. Black backplate.
Look at that. That is sexy, man.
That's not bad looking at all, man. That's nice.
I was looking at the box. Apparently, you can take this off as well if you just want an all-black look.
Oh, yeah?
So that's the Hercules there. Look at look at that, too. You got a DVI port there, and you've got 3 display ports and a HDMI port there, too. And that's a solid, chunky cooler, man. That is 2 slots. It's a good 2 slots. Possibly...
Yeah, it's not overly bulky, though, is it? It looks all right.
2 slots, yeah. So it's a perfect 2 slots. So it looks really cool. Look at the backplate too. It's kind of like...
And how much was it in Aussie money?
About 900 AUD or something like that. So it's $100 cheaper than any of its nearest competitors that I saw. And so there it is. It's got breathing room in the back as well. It's like a
Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules. So it's got a semi-gloss black. I actually really like the black. It's halfway in between a matte.
Is that a Japanese manufacturer or?
3D, I don't really know. This is the thing, I don't really know much about 3D, except I have heard of the Hercules before.
Yeah. Well, when you do your video on it, you're definitely going to have to get some information about that company. I want to hear about that.
Me being a car enthusiast and stuff like that, look at these bolts, right? They look wicked. You can see the actual Allen key bolts in there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool touch. I'm actually liking this graphics card. It looks like it's like a man's graphics card.
And coming from your 970 to 980 Ti for 1440p, you're going to be balling.
Yeah, man. So that's pretty cool so far. Hopefully, I don't put it in as DOA. I'll be so devo.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can still return it to that shop. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get a 2-year warranty in Japan, which isn't bad because in Japan it's they only have to give you 1-year warranty. So. That's actually not bad. So there it is. That's what you get live. Also, the mouse mat. People are probably like, look, man, I don't care about the graphics card. Show us the mouse mat. So, I will.
I'm scrolling through now, checking out these questions, see what we got here.
Hey, yeah.
Let's see. Someone wants to know if I wear boxers or brief. I free ball it.
Really? You don't wear underwear?
No.
What the? That's fucking. Doesn't that feel weird? Like whenever I do that, like once in a while, it feels weird.
No,
Like I need boxers on. I need boxer shorts.
I can't be bothered. I mean, I wear shorts or sweatpants anyway. I'm just like, why do I need an extra layer of cloth here? It seems wasteful.
So you get a VGA to DVI. It's like clear.
Because that's going to be useful.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I think VGA's for what the pro overclockers use. Yeah, they still use VGA, don't they?
Yeah. Let's see. Justin wanted to know if DDR4 is the same speed as DDR3 as good. So, if it's the same speed, is it the same? Well, yeah. Basically, DDR4 is basically just higher bandwidth. So that's why you see it with speeds up at like 2800, 3000 megahertz as commonplace. Whereas with DDR3, the max you're going to see is really like 2133. That's like the highest you'll really see.
Like this mouse mat, this smells like fish. So weird. Smells like someone just fished it out of a lake. Like,
oh my god.
It doesn't smell good, eh? But it feels pretty cool.
It's like industrial waste.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool mouse pad. I'll probably
pretty chill.
use it. It's pretty chill, yeah. Pretty eye chill.
Yeah.
No 3D. So you get a free mouse pad, eh? It's not bad for a... I don't know why they're like... I kind of don't know why they're bundling mouse pads though with graphics cards. Like... you know, like, kind of... Yeah, wouldn't it be something you'd bundle with a mouse, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Alright.
What brand is the 980 Ti?
Inno 3D.
Inno 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. A lot of personal questions. Joker, how's life going after the surgery? Life's going good, bro.
Yeah.
I just had my IVC filter out, which is a filter they put in me when I had the surgery to prevent blood clots. So I just had that taken out yesterday, actually. Had to go to the hospital, had full sedation. They cut me open, took it out, all that. So that sucked. But now it's pretty much done. So now basically everything's in my hands. You know, I'm not seeing doctors like every week anymore. So now it's just, you know, just time to really just kick it into gear and do everything. Another person asked me what my professional background was before YouTube. My last job that I did before starting doing like online marketing and stuff was construction. I used to work in construction in New York City.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into like online marketing and stuff like that and working from home because I had gotten laid off. So that's how I've been making my living for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So that's
cool.
That's that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the difference between 4790K and a 4960X? Cores. 2 cores.
Oh, yeah. So.
That's basically it.
What was it?
The 4790K and
4790.
Is there even a 4690X? Is that even
There's
a card?
a 4960X, yeah, isn't it?
4960X.
Is that the one?
Yep, 4960X.
Yeah, just 2 cores, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Ivy Bridge, yeah?
Yeah, that was the IVE.
Yeah.
So that's the IVE. The 4770K or 4790K is Haswell. So that's another difference there. But
and the 490 is better. So
yeah, definitely way better, but it's also $1,000. You know, I was actually I wondered, you know, since you know, they bumped up on the 50 in the 5000 series to having an 8-core processor as their $1,000 extreme one. So like how does the 5930K and the 5820K fit in against like the $1,000 of the 4000 gen, you know, the 4960X?
Yeah, well that's why I did like what Intel did this time with the X99 line. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it made 6 cores affordable.
Yeah, that's why I was like over the moon. So that was actually pretty cool. So, and that's what we're going to say, right? It's a good time. Like if you guys sort of want a machine that will last you like 5 years and you only have to change the GPU, then going with the X99 is not a bad choice. Like really isn't. You know, because I've tried the X5650, like, and even today, that I got it right here. It runs games absolutely fine with a GTX 970.
Yeah.
I was surprised. It was just really keeping up there with the pack. That was like CPU is 4 years old already.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
right.
I mean, I wouldn't really consider if you were in the market for a CPU, I would just go for either a 4790K or a 5820K. That's really what I'd be looking at if you
For
are.
me, it's 5820K or 1231B3.
And you saw there with how cheap memory is now. The DDR4 memory is so cheap.
Yeah.
So it's just like why wouldn't you? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm actually like 5820K has come down a lot in price to the time where it's actually the motherboards as well aren't so bad. Like you can pick up $150 motherboards after rebates or whatever. That's not bad.
Yep.
So yeah.
So Hugh Board in chat was asking a question. It's actually a reference to a video that he had linked the other day, which I thought was really funny, in regards to the Arkham Knight thing. He's linked this video of the guy that played Wild Bill in Green Mile. I can't remember his name, Sam something or whatever. But it was a video where he said, "Do you think I'm some sloppy wet pussy you can fuck?" I was giant when I saw that. So there you go, Hugh Board. That's your shout out and my version of that line. So download this episode, keep it for your own collection, whatever you want to do. Let's see, any more questions we got?
Yeah.
How do you dislike the most Austin's voice or Matt from Swashin's attitude? Wait, what? How do you dislike the most Austin's voice or Matt from Swashin's attitude?
Oh, okay, what do you don't? So what do you like?
What?
Dislike.
Next question. No, I would take Austin any day of the week because I feel like he is a straight up individual.
Yeah.
Even though he does that fake voice, I still feel like he's an honest and 100%, forthright individual. And
also, Srin, isn't he the pimp my setup dude?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
The guy that insults people and then just says he's kidding.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I haven't watched any of his videos really, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was on the Pimp My Setup, but he has the vid, and then I'll tell you guys the story here. So after I was on Pimp My Setup, I had messaged him on Skype because I was like, "Hey bro, why do you disable ratings on your videos?" Because he doesn't allow likes or dislikes on his videos at all. He just said that he had a lot of people dislike bombing him, just going there and disliking all his videos. And I was like, but you realize by disabling that you're going to lose some, ranking if you don't have ratings enabled on there. People aren't going to be as likely to rate a video. You're not going to search as high. And he's like, no, that's not true at all. It's like, are you serious? It's like,
well, I don't know. Like, if you're disabling ratings, I mean, just for me, I'm going to look at it as a sign of insecurity.
I asked him because, when I see a lot of channels doing that, I'm just like, it leads to mistrust in me. And now that I was, I had someone, I could, but like, I don't know why we're dropping here, but we're pushing on to the end of the episode anyway. So, we'll basically just move on to wrap it up here. We're already going, we've gone overtime anyway. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was a good episode. Most people we've ever had on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, if you guys have requests and stuff, drop it into Tech Gaming Weekly on Twitter, or drop it into my Twitter, drop it into Joker's Twitter. Hell, just drop it in the comments section. Doesn't matter. We'll just answer questions. We love, this is all about us connecting with you guys as much as it is just us talking about the topics we want to talk about. So this is what we're all about, guys. So so make sure you check out our Twitter feeds too. Like, Twitter's actually really good. And me and Joker have talked about this. Like, Facebook is kind of like,
it's like old people.
Yeah, it's just annoying, right?
Old people and baby pictures.
It's annoying. It doesn't work properly on smartphones.
And it's not a feasible way to get in touch with the fan base if you're running a channel or something like that, really.
Yeah, and Twitter's actually really good. Like, you just check out your favorite tweets, you just favorite them, retweet, whatnot.
Yep.
It's really easy. You can just quickly take a photo, bang, smash it up.
Yep.
So it's easy for me to just tell people what's going on. So yeah, check us out on Twitter, Tech Yes City, and Joker Slunt. Yeah.
Yep, so. Joker Slunt. Yep, there's links on. The names are on the screen always. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. We'll catch you next week at our normal time, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, you want to push it back half an hour because
that's right. We're gonna push it up. That's right. We're gonna push it up half hour. Yeah. So it's gonna be 5:30 Eastern, so that Brian's a little bit more alert next time. Although I think you did better this week with being alert. I thought you were a lot more alert this week.
Yeah, but maybe if that bandwidth, if there's problems with that internet.
I think it's because I have my VPN on. If I'm honest.
Okay.
Right, either that or Swashin just DDoSed me for talking. It was him or Austin. I'm watching you guys.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, man.
All right, we'll catch you guys later. Glad you guys enjoyed the stream. Most people ever. Tura.
Yeah, awesome. We'll catch you guys in another tech video very soon.
Yep. Next week.
Peace out.
Tura.
And I got this 980 Ti. Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Lick it.